Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's weekly energy class. It's the portion of Balak, and we're going to talk about its 1% meaning, what's the 1% meaning, and mostly what energies are available this week that we can benefit from. So before we start, we're going to do a meditation to bring us to the space, to open us up to receive messages, to receive new light, new information, new wisdom, new consciousness. And in order to do that, we want to close our eyes, take a deep breath, let go of any worries, any low vibrations, any negativity, any confusion, any doubts that you might be having, and create new space to receive new light, new wisdom, new understanding. What kind of energy is available this week? What opportunities for growth I have this week? How could this week get any better? And broadcast this energy of Creator's love, light, wisdom, and peace. Okay, so this week, it's called the week of Balak. This is the portion that the Kabbalist connected to in this week. And 1 second. So in the 1% story, we have, it's a very interesting and very special portion, because this week's portion is actually happening without any of the Israelites being present there. So what I mean by that is basically, obviously we derive and we try to find the energy of the week from the Old Testament, from the Bible, and Kabbalists try to derive what secrets and what energy and what light is in that portion by looking at a deeper meaning of it. But there's also light in the actual 1% story as well, which we're going to talk about. And the 1% occurs without any of the Israelites there. So this week is kind of interesting that it's actually nobody was there to witness anything that is happening. It's all comes directly from prophecy. And very simply put, it's this king that lived at the time of Moses and the Israelites in the desert. His name was Balak. And he basically sees for a prophecy that he's going to be destroyed through Israelites, that they're going to basically wipe out his nation. And he's trying to bring the most powerful evil sorcerer that existed at that time, and actually that existed ever. His name was Balaam, to help him basically curse and destroy the Israelites. And what starts to happen is Balaam does 3 attempts to curse the Israelites, but actually what happens in reality is he brings down, he says 3 blessings. And these are some of the biggest blessings that exist in the Kabbalistic writings, especially one of them, which is something that we should say actually on a daily basis. So there's many different lessons and opportunities that we have this week. And I'll just mention a few of them briefly, just so we're aware of them, and then go more deeply into 2 specific ones. So the first one is the energy of prophecy. So this week, in the story, there's 2 main characters, Balak and Balaam. And Balaam is considered a prophet on the level of Moses. He was just as high of a prophet as Moses was. Kabbalistically, Moses is considered one of the greatest prophets that ever lived, meaning he was in such direct contact with the Creator that there was no separation between him and the light force of the Creator. And Balaam was the same way, but from the negative side. He basically achieved the same level, but using all the negative forces, you can say. And he is basically a very interesting character. He's considered the father of casinos, of brothels, of a lot of different kind of things that we don't consider normally positive. He's the one that invented them. And he operated the largest network back in the day of these places. So one of the energy, what does it mean, prophecy? Prophecy means you're able to see a bigger picture, see the cause and effect, see how things will be for you, see how something will be for you in the future, either, you know, a partnership, a relationship, a job, you know, any decision that you make, to be able to see how is it going to be for you in the future. This week gives us that ability. That's why this portion always happens in the month of Cancer. Cancers are obviously very intuitive. It's a water sign. It's very intuitive. It's connected to intuition, connecting to your soul. So the ability of the sign of a Cancer and the energy of this week both give us a slight ability. Our psychic senses are going to go up and be more sensitive this week. The next energy is also the energy of Mikta, of purification. This week's portion has a very unique occurrence where the column starts, usually the scroll starts with the letter Vav. And this week, one of the columns starts with the letter Mem, which is very unique. It's not something that normally happens. And it shows us that there's the energy of letter Mem is revealed this week. And also what starts with the letter Mem is the word Mikta, or mine, water. So this week, the practice of doing Mikta, of immersing in water, of water in general, is amplified as well. Ability to purify, ability to be more connected to the positive aspect of water, it's all amplified this week. That's why Kabbalists recommend to do Mikveh this week and to use the energy of letter Mem to really purify ourselves. It also has the general energy of this week's portion has energy of protection against evil eye. And evil eye is something that, you know, that it's a very powerful force that the Zohar speaks about. And it's actually what this prophet Bilam was trying to use in order to curse the Israelites. And what does it mean more practically? It means that we can draw protection from evil eye this week more than any other week, okay? Because the tool of Balak, what he tried to use was the force of evil eye. That's how he actually caused damage to people. And there's a beautiful section in this week's Zohar on paragraph on paragraph 313. It talks about really the power of our red string, where it comes from, what the energy is. And there is a explanation from Rabbi Shimon that talks about how when Bilam tried to curse the Israelites, when he tried to, you know, make them have this bad energy, it says that actually Rachel, the matriarch, she saw it, that it's about to happen, and she spread her wings over the entire nation and protected them. And that's how the curses were turned into blessings. That's one way. So it connects us to our red string. And also, obviously, you know, evil eye, we always want to know that the more positive we are in our thoughts and our opinions of other people, in the way we speak about other people, about how we speak about ourselves, all this energy creates a better protection shield against this evil eye that might affect us. So it's never about, you know, like the external, that somebody's giving me evil eye. It's also about how much am I allowing this energy? How much affinity do I have with this energy that I'm allowing it to come in? The less affinity I have, the more affinity I have with the light force, the more protected I'm going to be. Right? So the less judgment, less speaking negatively, less being jealous, etc. that I'm doing, there I'm creating more protection for myself. Okay? And it's a really nice section. If someone wants to read it, it's really beautiful. We'll read it later, 313 through 320. in the Zohar, where it talks about Joseph and Rachel and how they're connected to protection against evil eye. Another energy of this week is also confusion. Obviously, it's all the opposite of prophecy. It's the opposite. It's connected to evil eye. It's the Rav teaches that if you take the two names of Balaam and Balak, the main characters of this week's portion, you can get the word bilbul, which means confusion. And this is obviously the number one weapon of Satan, right? He tries to instill confusion into our consciousness to prevent us from growing, to prevent us from understanding that everything is for the good, to doubt that there is light in every situation, to make us doubt that there is light in whatever we're going through. This is one of his main jobs, to inflict confusion on us. And this week gives us kind of an antidote for that energy. So a lot of really amazing things in this week's portion, really special, and so much opportunity. And we're obviously in a month of Cancer, which is one of the months where emotions are amplified, sensitivity, quote unquote neediness, being more in the vessel state is very much heightened. And your opportunity to be the cause is very much amplified this week, this whole month. This whole month is where you want to practice that everything around you was created by you, for you, and there's a reason why you created it in your life. Nothing was imposed on you, is because of other people. You don't want to blame anyone. You don't want to be a victim of any circumstance. You want to be the cause. You want to be the light, which you are. This is the truth. So this month, you really want to be connected to this idea that I am the creator of my life. I created all the circumstances, and they're actually very good for me. Everything will come out in an amazing way. It's all about my ability to connect to the internal aspect of all those things, to break down the walls, the klipot, the illusion, the confusion, and to penetrate into the internal aspect of everything that is happening around me, okay? That's why so with the food, cancers are very connected to food. They're prone to overeat because that's a way that they suppress emotions, suppress the truth, take their minds off what they need to do, which is obviously not the ultimate proactive way of doing it. You should eat, you should enjoy food, but you shouldn't abuse it, right? Like a drug. You want to be actually connecting to the positive aspects of everything. And everything does have a positive aspect in it. It's all about the chewing process, the removal of external and connecting to the internal. So first, I also want to mention about intuition, prophecy, divine inspiration. It has many different names, and they're all different levels, but it's really, to make it more simple, it really has a lot to do with committing to a practice of meditation, of looking and listening to the creator within. Like Ehrenberg says beautifully, prayer is when you talk to the creator, and meditation is when you listen. And this is something that Bilam, one of the main characters, did a lot. He basically achieved an extreme high levels of prophecy directly from the creator. He wasn't even connected to an angel or anything. He directly received messages from the creator. And we want to know, how do we amplify our prophetic, intuitive, and all these attributes. So number one is definitely through meditation, through something that I devote a certain amount of time in my day where I am meditating in whatever way you want. You can obviously using Kabbalistic tools like the Anabekoch and the Tuneim, the Zohar, breathing, listening to music that connects you to your intuition. All these practices are essential for you to awaken your sixth sense, your intuition, your intuitive side. And this month, Cancerians, again, are so intuitive. They're very intuitive people, very psychic. Water sign, again, they're very sensitive to energy, sensitive to what's happening around us, sensitive to everything that is going on. And we want to use that. You want to amplify your intuition, your psychic ability, your prophetic consciousness, your divine inspiration, all these attributes, you want to grow them. It says Kabbalistically that when you start studying spirituality, it's like you're being reborn. You're kind of like a new baby of you is born inside of you, and you have to nourish it, and you have to feed it, and you have to take care of it, and you have to be, caring towards it. And one of the aspects of that new baby, that new soul that is developing inside of you, is the intuitive side, is the side of intuition, the side of feeling, of being guided by the Creator, being directly guided from the Creator. That's what we also want. There's a lot, if you study spirituality on all the levels of where you can get insights and where you can get information, it's really amazing how many different sources a person can have. You can have an angel that guides you. You can have a soul that guides you, etc. But your intention, you always want to remember that I want to receive messages, even if it's coming from an angel, my guardian angel, my guards, whoever it might be. I want them to receive messages directly from the light. My my direction, my compass is directing that I'm going to receive messages directly from the Creator. I'm not receiving it from anywhere else. And this is something that we need to invest on a daily basis. The more you invest into it, the more your ability is going to be heightened. The more ability to sense, to feel, to connect, to understand messages you're going to have. Okay? It's not something that's like a gift. Even but Bilam, even as much as he was such an unpositive person, and even though he was such a high prophet, he was literally imagine the prophet on the level of Moses, directly right next to the light force of the Creator. He had to put effort. He did a lot of investing. He did a lot of work to receive his messages, right? To receive his guidance. So everyone needs to invest into that ability. It's not something that is just going to land on you and out of nowhere. You have to make the effort. We have to commit, put it in your schedule, find a buddy who's going to remind you, find a way that you're going to make sure that you invest into it on daily basis. It changes our life completely. Again, one of the best beginner tools is simply to put a timer on your phone for 10 minutes, turn the phone off, put a timer for 10 minutes, and just to meditate on listening and focusing on your breath. Nothing else. Just on your breath. No music, nothing. It's a little bit scary at the beginning, and you're actually able to break down klipot at that moment, because the discomfort, the fear that might come, the unpleasant thoughts or whatever you're experiencing that causes you a little bit of unpleasantness, it's actually helping you. You need to go through that. Spirituality is about going through the discomfort, part. It is comfortable, and it's much better than going through the discomfort given to you by the universe, but it does require a little bit of effort, okay? And consistency is the key. Repetition is the mother of habits, right? So the more you practice it, the more it's going to come to you, and the easier it's going to be for you. It's also, prophecy is very much connected to how much you eat, your food practice. If you eat too much, if you invest into eating too much, it actually weighs down the soul and gives your soul less ability to be ethereal, to be connected to the light. So what you eat, how you eat is very important. To be mindful of eating, that you are thankful before you eat, and you appreciate after you finish the meal, you appreciate also what you just ate. And that you're eating with a purpose, that you wanted to feed you spiritually, not just to stuff your mouth, but to eat spiritually also. This is essential. And it's very interesting. It's actually recommended not to drink water while you eat. It's very interesting. Water is obviously very important. You should drink water, but drinking water while eating actually prevents intuition from being active in our consciousness. So not to drink water, water specifically. It's okay to drink other drinks, but water actually prevents person from being more intuitive when they eat. And cleanliness. This is also very essential, that the more a person takes care of cleanliness of their body, of their environment, of their house, of their space, of the clothes, of everything, the more cleanliness exists, the better your ability to be tuned into your soul will be. Your intuition will be better. You're gonna, it just like attracts like. And you say, they say cleanliness is next to godliness, right? It's very true. The more clean you'll be, the more light energy you're able to connect to. So that's on the level of prophecy. Obviously, scanning of a Zohar, the simplest thing you could do if you have it. If you invest into studying and meditating with a Zohar at least 30 minutes a day, you're definitely going to be more connected than you were if you didn't do that. So a very powerful, simple, very powerful tool to connect to the light and to prophecy is just by scanning the Zohar. The simplest thing you could possibly do. Study of spirituality obviously amplifies our spiritual senses. Actually, study of the weekly consciousness actually really amplifies our ability to be tuned in. More specifically, it actually gives our guardian angel an ability to be connected directly to the light when you study the weekly energy. That's why we do it in the center so much. Again, so meditation, cleanliness, food, and intention. That you want to ask the creator, that you are guided by the creator. So that's the main ones. And now the main theme that I wanted to share with you is the idea of stubbornness. So in the story, it's really interesting. It's basically Balak, going back to the story, Balak sends very expensive gifts and very important people from his court to Bilam and tells him, please come, I need your services. I need you to curse me these people. And the first time they come, Bilam asks the creator, he was very much, he was a very good boy, it seemed. He asks the light and he says, creator, these people are here. They asked me to go and do a job for them. Should I go? Creator says, absolutely not. Don't even dare thinking about it. And he tells them right away, you know what, I'm very sorry, but God says no. And they're like, okay. They go back to Balak. They tell Balak, hey, he said no, sorry, he's not available. He sends a more important people, more gifts, higher pay to him to tell him, I don't care what your God says, come and curse me these people. When Bilam sees this, he's impressed. He's like, wow, what's going on? Like, this is really big. He says the same thing. I'm sorry, can't go unless God allows me to. They're like, okay, do your thing. He does his meditations at night, which is very, very interesting. He was using a lot. He was a black magician. He was a sorcerer to connect to, but he was connecting to the light, which is really interesting. So again, he asks the light, he asks the creator, can I go and do the job? Creator is like, no, not an option. He's like, okay. Third time, Balak sends even more, almost like literally his children, the highest princes from his court, the most expensive gifts he could possibly imagine. And then Bilam is like, starts to be tempted, and he's like, I can't say no to this. This is like amazing. And he tells the creator, he's like, listen, I'm going, so, if you want, allow me to. It was not a question of can I go. It was like, I already made up my mind. So, you do whatever you want. And the creator's like, okay, do whatever you want, but you only be able to do what I tell you to do in this process. So again, sign of being egotistically stubborn and smart, right? And when he knew what is right, the creator told him right away what to do, but he was trying to manipulate, trying to be stubborn, trying to think, oh, this is better, I should do it, trying to manipulate the situation. So this is a major, major theme of this week and a sign of Cancer. He goes with the missionaries, with the people that came, to kind of pick him up. And a very interesting incident happens. It's a very special incident when he had a very special donkey, it said. And he's riding on his donkey, and his donkey, as further as he goes, the donkey starts to behave in a very weird way. And eventually it comes to a place where the donkey almost smashes his Bilam's knee into a wall and almost like damages him. And he's about to, he gets off a donkey, he gets so angry at his animal, and he's about to murder him actually. And all of a sudden the angel appears and tells him, what are you doing? And he's shocked. He sees this angelic entity appearing in front of him, preventing him from killing this animal. And not only that, the animal starts to speak. Literally, it says in the Old Testament, one of the only places where an animal, I think the only place, where an animal speaks. And he says, what are you doing? I'm trying to protect you. Because actually the donkey was able to see that there was an angel with a sword waiting to kill Bilam. And he was trying to prevent him from being murdered. But Bilam didn't see it. And he thought he wants to go faster and pushing the donkey. And the donkey was trying to save him. Again, a sign of stubbornness. And then the ultimate stubbornness obviously is turned into when he meets Balak, and when they meet and they try to, come up with their ideas of what to do. But the theme is to listen to the messages that we're getting, listen to the insights that the Creator is providing to us, and not to be smart, not to be stubborn, not to listen what the Creator is telling you, what your soul is telling you to do. There's always the messages of the Creator, of the light, guiding us and telling us what to do. And the more you meditate, the more you activate your intuition. And this week it's kind of like on a, for free available for us. The more you're going to get those insights, not to try to go against it, not to try to say, I know better. It's okay. I don't want that. Even though the light is telling me this is what I should do, I have my own ideas. I have my own, perspectives, and this is how I want to do it. The ability to be even flexible and to commit to the message that you're getting from the light is a very, very beautiful ability. Beautiful ability when you don't kind of force yourself on that I made up, I want it this way. I know what is better for me. I want it this way, and that's it. That's how I'm going to do it. To understand that a lot of times our desires don't actually serve us in the long term. A lot of times the desires that we feel that we want are actually illusionary. They come from the opponent. It's the beautiful ability when you're able to separate your true desires, your soul, and the opponent, the false reality, the false desires, the false, the false cravings that we have. Those are two separate things. And what's the issue? Like, what's the problem with false things? It's me. It's like, I want to eat more cake. Why can't I eat it? I want to be with this with this person, or I want to do this and that and that. So what's the issue with that? What's the problem with doing any of those things? And really, there is no issue. It's just in the long term, it's not going to serve you. In the long term, you're only going to be happy with doing things that your soul wants, with committing to your soul mission. It says, some people say, oh, there's really nothing you need in this world. You should be free from all desires, from all physical things. You don't need anything. In a way, it's true, but there is something that you do need, which is the contract that you signed with the Creator before you came into this world. You came into this world with a very specific set of accomplishments and missions that you came in this world to do. And you're going to be ultimately happy when you're going through that checklist and accomplishing all those to-do lists that you have, that contracts that you signed in the upper world. That is something that you do need. Or you can call it your tikkun, your destiny, etc. That is something that you should go after as much. Your day should be focused on that. That is your ultimate reason for being here. That is your ultimate reason for being in this world. Not just, those silly 1% things and, nothing. None of those things are as important. But your spiritual growth, your spiritual elevation, and your spiritual evolution is the reason why you're in this world. And that is something also that we need to invest. And we have this whole week to journal, to talk to our friends, to talk to people, and to find out, what is my spiritual journey in this world? What kind of contract did I sign with the Creator that I came into this world to accomplish? What do I need to be less stubborn about? What do I need to be more open about? I'm so stubbornly fixed about doing it this way. You know what? Maybe I need to be more flexible. Cancers are very stubborn. If you know them, or if you, they can be stubborn and very quote unquote clingy. It's hard for them to let go of relationships, let go of perspectives, because they're afraid. They're afraid. What if I let go? How am I going to live after that? I'm not going to have anything else. You know, they're afraid to let go of a relationship, because it's like, oh, if I let go of this, well, that's it. I'm going to be alone. There's no one else out there for me, which is false, obviously. There's always someone better out there for you if you're not happy in a relationship. But the step of letting go, of overcoming the fear of, you know, not being afraid that I'm going to be not able to find someone, or not find another job, or not find another opportunity, or things are going to get better, etc. This is a major, major step. Again, connecting to last week's theme, I think we talked about being fearless, courageous, the ability to let go. But ultimately, you really, really want to see, where am I being stubborn? Where am I being too stuck on my ways? Where am I being too rigid? You know, where am I not being flexible enough? I need to develop this flexibility, at least this, if you listen to the Rav's message from the Shabbat, this open-mindedness, right? The more open-minded I am, the more I can really be connected to the light. You know, some people are, yes, especially in the beginning, I'm so into spirituality, light, spirituality, etc. But then there comes a moment when you are hit with a wall, which is your growth. You're hit with a wall and you're being asked to really change a perspective on something. Really, really come out of your regular shell of observation, how you look at things, and see it from a very different perspective, and be open to change and letting go of that perspective. Change is really letting go of your perspectives, letting go of your opinions, letting go of your needs and desires, and actually getting better ones. This is what true change is. Being flexible, you know, not being so rigid. And this week, the main thing, the purity, the cleansiness, the prophecy, the protection against evil eye, the healing, all of that comes to us when we let go of the old, let go of the old perspectives, how we looked at things before, and say, you know what, Creator, show me, what am I meant to do in this world? What is my ultimate mission? We co-signed we created a beautiful movie, which is our life, which is my life, your life. That's our beautiful movie. It's an amazing opportunity to experience it every single day. So what are some ultimate moments? What are some peaks? What are some incredible turning points that I can experience in my life that will be totally life-changing for me? What are they? What are mine? And obviously, as we always say, the way to receive it is by asking that question, is by asking, okay, what is my mission? What is my mission in this world? This week, the more you ask, the clearer it will be to you. The more I ask, what is my mission? To receive more guidance from the Creator, to be more guided from the Creator. The more I say it, the more I think it, the better I'll be able to understand. Again, our job is not to find answers. Our job is to find good questions. The better questions you have, the better answers you're going to receive. Your brain doesn't work good when it tries to solve it, to find the answer. Your mind, brain, soul work much better when it's tuned into the right question. So asking those right questions is the key. And to be able to, and also to receive this ability of flexibility, to receive this ability that, you know what, I might have been looking at this whole situation, this whole world, this whole life in a way that I should change it. Actually, my life will be better when I let go of my perspective, when I let go of my opinion, when I let go of this, it needs to be this way and no other way. The more I do that, the more light I'm bringing into my life. So letting go of stubbornness, and again, it's not being submissive or docile necessarily, like not in a negative way, that you're just doing whatever you're told, but connecting to your mission, connecting to your contract, to your soul's contract of why it came into this world. Like Rabbi Tzakluria says, if you don't know your personal mission in this world, how are you going to accomplish it? If you don't ask that question, what is my mission in this world, how are you going to achieve it? It's a great question, right? So asking these questions, using all the meditative tools, using the Mikta to purify us. Again, the reason Mikta, the reason why we want to do Mikta this week is because it brings us cleansiness, and cleansiness brings us closer to prophecy. The letter Mem, the blessings in the reading. I really hope you gonna be able to listen to the Torah reading on Saturday morning. It has, again, 3 of the biggest blessings in the whole Torah, which are incredible, which is also a beautiful lesson that the 3 main biggest blessings in the whole Torah came from a negative sorcerer. It's so counterintuitive. It didn't come from Moses. It didn't come from Jacob, the patriarch. They also gave huge blessings to us, but the biggest ones actually came from such a negative person, right? Who on the superficial level would seem like you wouldn't want to mess with him. Basically, it says that he could not just kill, but literally evaporate a human being with his eye, with his perspective. And the moment he looked at Israelites, also he was immediately saw the shield, the protective shield, and no, he tried to circle them and go around the camp and tried to look at it from this side, from that side. He saw that there's absolutely no way that he could bring down negativity, bring down quote unquote curse onto them, because they were so connected to the light that we were completely protected. And it says, one of the verses, it says, how could you curse someone who the Creator didn't curse, right? Who the Creator is blessing. And if you are in the state, what does it mean also a blessing? That's a very good question this week also. What does it mean a blessing? You need to feel that you are a blessing to this world. You need to feel that you are bringing blessings to this reality. The moment you see someone you don't like, meditate in your mind, meditate in your consciousness that I'm sending blessings to that person, to those people. That's what you want to be. In order to be blessed, you need to bless. That's how it's done. That in your mind's eye, you meditate to bring blessings to other people, to other souls, to other groups. The more, it's very interesting also, the more you kind of meditate and bring blessings to other people, the more those people that you quote unquote don't like and think are on the wrong path, they'll be guided in the right direction also. That's one of the true essences of light is blessing. And also the main attribute or characteristic of a blessing is continuity, that there's no ending, that whatever it is that you're doing, that it doesn't just bring blessings onto you or to people around you, it brings blessings to the whole environment. It's like an energy of blessing. You can also meditate on the letter Bet, obviously, because that's the letter of the blessings in Hebrew, and meditate to bring blessings to other people, bring blessings onto you, meditate that you are a blessing to people, meditate that you are a blessing to this world, that you're channeling blessings into this world. That also creates a huge protection shield for us. And it also helps us get closer and closer to the day of Joseph the Righteous, which is happening in 2 weeks, who is considered the channel of blessings into this world also. So a lot of amazing lessons, a lot of amazing opportunities we have. Again, something that we want to do, and we're going to do a meditation on it right now, is to let go of our stubborn ways, let go of our rigidness, and develop the attribute of flexibility, of ability to see things from different perspectives, the ability to be more insightful, and the ability to connect and hear and understand our soul's contract in this world before it came into this world. So before we continue, you want to make yourself comfortable. If you can, have a seat, and then you can close your eyes and start breathing using your belly, using your diaphragm. Refrain from using your chest and your upper body and your shoulders. Totally relax them and just use your stomach, use your belly, use your diaphragm. Use your nose also. Take 3 deep breaths and 3 long exhales. And you want to center your consciousness in your heart and send your consciousness to the middle of the earth, the core, where there is infinite amount of energy. The light force of the Creator is very present there. And you want to meditate to send this light, send this energy all the way to the top and let it and feel it coming from the bottom of your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your buttocks, your entire body, opening up all your chakras, all your energy centers, all your sphirot, go into your hands, your neck, your head. Imagine your entire body being filled with new, fresh energy. Feel how whole and complete you are at this moment. And you want to see how this energy starts to fountain above your head and form a beautiful ball of light above your head. And then try to see what color is your ball of light today. Could be any color. And then I want you to pretend that you are in this ball of light actually. Pretend that you're in it and try to perceive and observe the whole world around you through this ball of light, how perfect everything is. And then we want to send this ball of light above our head, above the building we're in, above our city, above our planet, and traveling faster than the speed of light, travel through the entire universe, through all the galaxies, through all the constellations, and reach the edge of the universe. Go through this edge and start to elevate and go through layers of light and dark. And we want to end up at a layer of light that's very, very bright light. Keep going higher. We go to a layer that's golden, relaxing, soothing light. This is our soul family. You want to feel like you're in absolute home here. You can invite any souls or angels or souls of the righteous that you connect to in your ball of light from here. This is where they reside. And when we're going to keep going higher, we go to the next plane, next layer of light that feels like thick water or jello. Keep going higher. You want to imagine that a beautiful mist, pink mist, touches your ball of light and helps it ascend even higher. And we want to see a beautiful pearl-like shining in the distance. And we want to approach the shining and on an exhale, go through it and enter the plane of the Creator. This is the Ein Sof, the endless, the ultimate source of all the light in our existence, where all the wisdom, all the love, all the answers, all the healing, all the abundance comes from. And we actually want to see how our ball of light becomes one with this energy, totally unified, totally good with this light. Here we're gonna connect to energy, receive downloads of consciousness. And if you want to know what it means and what it feels like to be flexible, to be open, to hear the Creator's guidance in our everyday life. If you want that download, say yes. want to ask the Creator to help us remember our contract that we signed in the upper worlds. What is our mission in this reality, in this life? What's our ultimate purpose? Why did we come here? What do we come here to learn, to give, to love? If you want to remember your contract with the Creator, also say yes. And if you want to awaken and amplify your attribute of intuition, prophecy, and openness, also say yes. And we also want to bring down the energy of Creator's unconditional love, the energy of blessings of the Creator, to feel that we are blessed, to feel that we are a blessing to this world, to know what it means and what it feels like to bless other people, to bless ourselves, to bless our reality, to remain in the state of blessing at all times. If you want that, also say yes. And we want to project this energy to the entire world, the energy of unconditional love, the energy of Creator's blessings, the energy of healing, peace, and blessings to the entire world. If you want to participate in that, meditate on all the people around you, anyone you want to send it to, and also say yes. And if you want to stay in this space a little bit to ask the Creator any personal questions that you might have, go ahead, ask a question. And also ask the Creator to be with us and to know that the Creator is with us all the time, every single moment, every single second of our existence. And before you open your eyes, you can just rinse yourself in this energy, fill yourself up with it again. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, awesome. Thank you everyone for joining. It was a great class. Tomorrow I'm giving food for the soul on Kabbalah.com. I'm going to post a link. If you want the link, let me know. I'll send it to you. It's on Kabbalah.com also in the upcoming classes. And highly recommend to listen to the Torah reading this Saturday and listen to the class again. Thank you for joining. All the best.